Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming to the Yarwun Community Forum. We're now moving into our community questions portion of the evening, where we answer submitted questions from the community about your concerns, your issues, what affect you. Today I have two councillors who will be providing some responses to them. We have Councillor Simon McClintock and Councillor Leanne Patrick. So we'll start off with Councillor McClintock.
Rightio, let's go with this one. Entry to Calliope River Road from Gladstone Mount Larcom Road is a disgrace. Used as heavy vehicle layoff area is this main roads or GRC. The roads delivery team has confirmed that council does actually maintain the sealed section of the roadway as well as the shoulder, and this area is not a recognised parking area, which is why it's not officially maintained. The manager of roads program delivery inspected the area himself and confirmed that some edge breaks have been identified and repairs are scheduled for the coming months. So hopefully that answers that question. Oh.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you everyone for coming out and having a chat with us. It's always lovely to put names to faces and for us to get to know you and you to get to know us a little better, because we're people and we have lives too, and it's nice to be able to share that with our community. So moving on to the question, is council aware that ammonium nitrate is being stored at the Centurion Transport laydown yard? Did Gladstone Regional Council approve and were residents notified? So there's a few answers to this one, so I'll take you through that. So again, thank you for bringing that question to council. Council is now investigating this to ensure compliance. Council is the assessing authority at this point. However, this was not always the case due to boundary shifts within the Gladstone State Development Area. Council has not received any development applications for this use and has not been provided specific approval. The only previous customer service request was received in 2014, and the community member was directed to the Environmental Protection Agency as it was within the GSDA at that time. Our development service team will now investigate if this was a pre-established use, if it continues as a current use, and if further development applications are required to be submitted to council for approval. We will report back to the community following this investigation. So thank you for bringing that to our attention. Councillor McClintock.
Why has the Boat Creek been allowed to be overgrown with invasive plants and used for dumping? Remediation is needed to prevent flooding. Council was actually contacted last year regarding concerns with the Boat Creek that led to an inspection from the roads delivery team and a commitment to conduct rectification works within the drain. There was a miscommunication when the customer service request, the CSR, was lodged, and it did not specifically include a reference to noxious weeds, and the CSR team apologises for overlooking this at the time. A new request has now been lodged with the additional information, and it's been referred to their biosecurity pest management team for inspection. And community members are reminded that they're always welcome to reach out to council to follow up and discuss requests that they've lodged. If there's been an error or a miscommunication, please let us know to ensure that we've addressed your request. We had a little bit of a conversation around that before. It's sometimes really hard to actually get the tone or the intent of what is being tried to portray over text. So sometimes just having that conversation or follow up, if it doesn't come across right, the response that you get doesn't line up with the question that you actually meant to ask, please just reach out again. I know it can be a little bit frustrating in that process, but we really do want to answer the actual question you're trying to have and make sure that we get to the bottom of that. The council's biosecurity plan includes management plans with a priority to target invasive species on council land. So there is actually a process in place that we have a team that does go around and identify problem areas and set them into a plan as to how we're going to deal with those. So this is now a part of that and will be followed up in due time.
Thank you. Thank you. The next question is, the Yarwun Hall needs a ramp for access to the hall for people with mobility issues. How to access funding? Thank you. We were having a chat about this. We understand that community halls play a very vital role for regional towns throughout our region. We also know that many were built before accessibility was a consideration. We recently developed our first access and inclusion plan, which is a 3-year plan for council, ensuring our whole community can access our services, events and facilities. The first priority area in the plan is council spaces and places, and including an audit of all of council's facilities to identify areas of improvement, including ramp accesses. So things like the GECC is obviously a fairly high priority for us as well. So Yarwun Hall was part of that facilities audit and its needs were identified. However, it is not currently in the first plan. However, this doesn't mean that it won't be assigned as future works. We need you guys to keep advocating for that. Hopefully we can work together to see if we can improve access for all of our facilities. As we were talking, we'll try and work together. When we have really motivated organisational groups, council loves to work with our community on getting things done. So hopefully that's a conversation and actions can come from that. So no worries.
And the last one that I've got is we rely on tanks for potable water supply. Why can't we have water trucks daily on our roads as our tanks are impacted by kicked up dust? As you can probably appreciate, unfortunately, watering our unsealed roads network on a daily basis for dust suppression isn't really a viable solution, certainly from an economic point of view. We have thousands and thousands of kilometres of dirt roads that we need to maintain. It's an extensive network of unsealed roads throughout the region, combined with the significant volume of water that would be required, make it an unsustainable solution. Water is a precious resource, as you can appreciate, and our road maintenance team already faces challenges sourcing sufficient, wow, that's a hard sentence, Tim, thanks, sourcing sufficient water to carry out our routine maintenance. The only real probably suggestion that was probably a next step would be the installment of a filtration system to manage that dust. But I would say too, having grown up on a dirt road myself, I would encourage you to have a conversation with anyone who may live on your road if you need to do that. I remember as a young man flying up my dirt road, and I had a very polite conversation with one of my neighbours that came and knocked on my door. And it genuinely was a polite conversation that made me second guess and second think about driving past their house at any type of speed. And so for the rest of our time living there, we drove quite slowly past that house because I appreciated that conversation. So please reach out. Like I said, there's a lot to be had in just connecting with community, and I know that won't solve all the problems, but definitely go and have a conversation, get some filtration system if that's not working. But apart from that, probably not going to water roads anytime in the near future as a sustainable solution. That's all the questions I had, Tim.
Very much.
We've got some time if we can open the floor to questions if there were any for the councillors at all. Nope. In that case, that's a wrap for tonight. Thank you all for coming. And I just wanted to say a special thanks to Yarwun State School for hosting us tonight. Fantastic school, and Principal Amanda has been amazing to work with, helping us set all of this up. And also a special shout out to the kids who moved a lot of the tables for us before we arrived. So that was very helpful.